There's more, isn't there? Emeka's voice was barely a whisper. Uncle Chidi nodded slowly, reaching into his shirt pocket. He pulled out a small carved wooden token, the kind used in traditional oath-making ceremonies. The wood was dark with age, and strange symbols were etched into its surface. Your father didn't just make me a promise, Emeka. He made me a sacred vow. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Emeka had heard stories of such oaths, binding agreements witnessed by the spirits themselves, impossible to break without consequence. It was during the drought of 1998, Uncle Chidi continued, his voice growing distant. The business was dying. We had no money, no customers, no hope. I came to your father with the last of my savings, 20,000 naira I had hidden in my mattress, money meant for my daughter's school fees. Emeka's chest tightened. He remembered that drought, remembered being hungry, remembered the fear in their parents' voices late at night. Your father was crying when I gave him that money, Uncle Chidi said. Real tears, son. He took my hands and said, Chidi, I cannot take this from you. This is your children's future. But I insisted. I told him, if this business succeeds, we both eat. If it fails, we both starve together. The carved token seemed to pulse with dark energy in Uncle Chidi's hand. And that night, we went to the shrine of Amadioha. Your father held this token and swore before the thunder god himself, if my business prospers through my brother's sacrifice, I will make him my equal partner within 25 years, or may the earth reject my bones and my spirit know no peace. Emeka's blood turned to ice water. No, that can't be true. Look at your father's grave. Uncle Chidi's voice cracked like thunder. Look at it, Emeka. Look at it. Even the grass knows the truth. The wooden token suddenly felt hot in Uncle Chidi's hand, and both men watched in horror as the symbols on its surface began to glow with a faint red light. The 25 years ended 3 months before your father died, Uncle Chidi whispered. I went to him, reminded him of his vow. He got angry, accused me of trying to steal from his family. He said the oath was just words spoken by foolish young men. But the spirits don't forget, Emeka breathed, understanding flooding through him like cold rain. No, they don't forget. And now your father's soul is trapped between worlds, unable to rest until his vow is fulfilled. The curse doesn't just affect him, Emeka. It's destroying everything he built, your business, your reputation, your future. As if summoned by their words, a wind rose outside, hot and dry, despite the evening hour. The wooden token in Uncle Chidi's hand grew hotter, and suddenly the light in Emeka's house began to flicker. What do I have to do? Emeka asked, though he already feared the answer. Uncle Chidi set the burning token on the table between them, where it continued to glow like a small ember. Half the business, he said, simply. Half of everything, the shop, the profits, the debts, the future. Just as your father promised. Emeka's mind reeled. Half the businessman's, half his inheritance, half his security, half his future. The shop was all he had left of his father, the only thing standing between him and poverty. But Uncle Chidi, Emeka's voice shook. If I give you half, what will I live on? The business is already struggling. People say I'm cursed. If we split everything, then we both struggle together, just as I struggled alone for 25 years while your father prospered. The older man's words hit Emeka like physical blows. For the first time, he truly understood what Uncle Chidi had sacrificed. 25 years of loyalty, of waiting, of believing in a promise that seemed increasingly hollow with each passing year. I'm not a greedy man, Emeka, Uncle Chidi continued, his voice soft but firm. I don't want to take everything from you. I just want what was promised. Recognition, respect, a chance to provide for my family in my old age. Emeka stared at the glowing token, his heart torn between loyalty to his father's memory and the growing realization that his father had been wrong. Terribly, shamefully wrong. There's something else you need to know, Uncle Chidi said quietly. He pulled out another paper, this one newer, official looking. The loan sharks I borrowed from, they are not ordinary money lenders. They are connected to some very dangerous people. Emeka's blood chilled. What are you saying? I'm saying that if I don't pay them back by next Friday, they won't just take my house. They'll come looking for other sources of repayment, and the only other asset connected to me is the business I helped build. your father's shop. The implication hit Emeka like a thunderbolt. If Uncle Chidi couldn't pay, the dangerous men would come after the electronics shop. They would destroy everything, regardless of who owned it legally. So you see, Uncle Chidi said sadly, this isn't just about honoring your father's oath anymore. It's about survival for both of us. Outside, the wind grew stronger, and somewhere in the distance, Emeka could swear he heard the sound of his father's voice calling out in anguish from beyond the grave. The token pulsed brighter, and both men knew that time was running out. Emeka faces an impossible choice: honor his father's sacred oath and risk everything, or break the vow and face the wrath of both spirits and dangerous men. But the most shocking revelation is yet to come, because Uncle Chidi has been hiding one final secret that will change everything Emeka believes about family, loyalty, and the true price of broken promises. Continue to part 3 to discover the devastating truth that will either save them both or destroy them forever.